Saeed is currently in federal custody and will soon be transferred to Dallas County. Saeed took his daughters Amina, 18, and Sarah, 17, for a ride in his taxicab on January 1st, 2008, under the guise of taking them to get something to eat. He drove them to Irving, where he allegedly shot both girls inside the taxicab. They both died of multiple gunshot wounds. At the time, Irving police said the motive for the murders was unclear, but they believe Saeed was upset by his daughter's teenage behavior. He drove them to Irving, where he
This is people going live. Okay, that's the only video. CNN 2 minutes ago. Yaser Saeed, one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives, have been taken into custody without incident today in Justin, Texas, according to a news release from the FBI Dallasville office. Saeed was placed on the list December 2014 for the 2008 homicide of his daughters, Amina and Sarah. Saeed, who is currently in federal custody, will be transferred to Dallas County soon, according to the release. There's no picture, though. This is all everyone is saying. So, all right, let me open a window so you guys can see me right now. Well, you guys can see me so I can see myself right now. I'm sorry. My head is everywhere. Transferred to Dallas County. All right. Thank you, Emily. Thank you so much. I was just asleep on my couch, and I got to do a lot of stuff for my job tonight. So as I was laying in the dark, I went to check the time because I was gonna lay on my couch till like 10 p.m. And when I checked my messages, Emily Rose, my mod there, said that she had great news, and it was an article for this. And I didn't even read the article. I think I read the title of the article. And when I read the title of the article, I went directly to Ruth Trotter's inbox. If you don't know the story of Sarah and Amina, of course, their father took their life. Their mother didn't care about them at all. So the only true mother they had was a woman by the name of Ruth Trotter, who was Amina's boyfriend's mom. But if you ever hear about this story, you're going to see that she was way much more than her boyfriend's mom. And she has fought relentlessly every single day for two things, and one of the two things have happened. One of the two things was for him to be captured. And I saw that this was real. I couldn't believe it. I haven't I haven't been awake. Also, if you don't know, Ruth just replied back, yes, it's true, with all exclamation points. I'm gonna let her know I'm live. I wanna hold on. Let me send Ruth this link. I'm sorry, I'm messing up so bad. This is crazy because I'm supposed to finish this video, and my next video, I'm supposed to be working with Sarah Turney on the video of her sister, Alyssa Turney. And while I was out of town, I don't even remember now. Was it when I was out of town or right before I went out? Like her father is arrested for her murder, like for Alyssa's murder, and I couldn't believe it. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. That like wow, Sarah fought so hard. And then I'm asleep today, and Yaser is caught. Like I can't believe that he got caught. Um, I have a confession, Ruth. Now, I see that you're watching now. Ruth had told me months ago that there was strong evidence that he was in Texas, and I was a little worried because she wanted to go, and she wanted to go see where he was for herself. I had a confession. I didn't believe he was that stupid. I didn't believe he was that stupid. If I would have believed he was that stupid, I would have tried like hell to get you to not go, Ruth. I just didn't believe that he was that stupid. And if you guys who are watching don't know, if you just start watching me, I would have never made this YouTube channel if it wasn't for this case. I would have never made this channel. I said the split second I saw that documentary, I couldn't get, well, to be 1,000,000,000% honest, at that time, just from watching, I couldn't get what happened to Amina off my mind, you know. And it really, really, really affected me. It really, really touched me in a deep way that and then when I started talking to Ruth and I started learning more about what took place, that's when I put Sarah to the forefront. That's why you see Sarah on the side right here. I don't know which way I'm supposed to point. On the screen over here, you see Sarah, and it was important for me to not let Sarah's story get lost, because two girls lost their life to ridiculousness over rules set in place that, from what I've seen for other honor killings, that after the 99.9% of the time, well, not 100% of the time, to be honest with you, when when her life is taken in an honor killing, not only the father or brother that does it, but the entire family, they don't care. They don't. There's no sleepless nights where they regret they've made a bad decision. It is they talk about them so harshly after they're gone. Uh, they don't care. I'm sorry if I look crazy, whatever. I didn't plan to go live tonight. I didn't even plan to be conscious right now. I was gonna sleep until 10 p.m. I had like another hour and 12 minutes to sleep. Now I believe. Now I believe everything. Now I believe. I believe it. I believe that he never left the country. Period. I believe that this guy took his daughter's life, and if he, maybe he left when after he first did it, but he came back quickly, and he's been uh, living in our country, working, going through things that they should be going through. Amina should be married now, worried about COVID. So he was about 10 minutes away. Funny that he's not that far from where the girls were killed. Yeah, I mean, that's what I heard, that he has been here the whole time. I heard he's been not far at all the whole time. I wish that there was a picture, a video, or something. Like I said, there's two things that was supposed to happen, and I was gonna say the second thing, but I don't think I should. Now I need to make sure that that's okay. But one of them was him to get captured. Hmm. Waiting for a text. So I make this assumption that everybody else knows. I'll just go through. Um, I couldn't. This was the very first video I ever made. And again, if you're new to my channel, I tried everything to keep the video up. It gets removed for copyright because the only footage of the girls are in the documentary, and the distributors of the documentary don't want anyone to use any footage from their documentary. Even the handheld camera of their father watching them, the same as Michael Turney was watching Alyssa Turney in those weird, disgusting ways. They own that footage too. So like whenever I got a strike, I would take out what they wanted me to take out. And then when I would take out what they wanted me to take out, I would post the video again, and then it would be a new part that they want me to take out. So I didn't want to lose my channel, so it was down. So that's why the video isn't up. I think it was on Vimeo, and even on Vimeo, it was taken down as well too. But maybe this is a good time. If any of my moms want to post the link to the documentary, I think their documentary is on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. If it's not, the documentary crew gave permission to True Crime Daily to use footage from it, and True Crime Daily discussed this case. At the very first time I heard about this case, and to me, and this is probably why it more put Amina to the forefront over Sarah at the time, was because it was a very sad love story between. It's a very extremely sad love story, almost Romeo and Juliet in how the family or their father didn't approve of Amina's boyfriend. And so the documentary is mainly, even though it's told from, you know, Amina and Sarah's mom, or their stories told from Amina and Sarah's aunts, is mainly told from Amina and Sarah's boyfriend and his mother, Ruth Trotter. And if you watch this story, you can sense very easy the heartbreak in this young man. Um, and they tell the story of the horrors that these girls went through with their father. Um, a lot of people want me to say because of his religious belief, and that's up to your interpretation. Uh, a lot of Muslims will tell you that this is nowhere in their Quran. This cultural thing that comes up of honor killings, uh, where if a daughter isn't saving herself to be married to someone, or she's unclean or whatever, the parent, to clear the family's name, will take the daughter's life. And these girls, I now apologize. I'm trying to tell this. I'm trying to tell what happened for the people who've never heard of this. But like, my brain is like everywhere. I'm just so shocked that he was captured. So if somebody can help me out in the comment section on the side here. Um, um, if what make this story is not different at all from any other underkilling stories, but what makes you get more involved is the footage left behind, the notes Amina would write being left behind, where Amina would say that she was so afraid that her father was going to take her and her sister's life, and she did not want to be a memory. Uh, how hard Amina had to hide the fact that she had a boyfriend and try to keep in contact. The girls running away at the last moment together, and running away with their mother, their flesh and blood real mother, to get away from the horrors. And they should have stayed gone, but their mother concocted a plan to manipulate these girls to come home. In the split second they came home, that's when their father took them on this cab ride, and he shot both of them to death. And you can hear some of this on the 911 phone call. Long ago, when I was going to make my documentary, my YouTube video, I stumbled upon the full call, because you can easily find the portion where with Sarah, what he does to Sarah, as Sarah takes her last breath. But there was I don't know, there was a longer version, and then there was an interview with a cop that went into more detail. I couldn't find it in 2018 when I made this video. I was so upset. I should have just saved it. I should have downloaded that part, but it was just way worse than I imagined that it was, and especially me being the father of having two daughters, that I could never, no religion could ever make me do what he did to his own girls. The audio is chilling, yeah. Sorry if I missed it, but where did you hear or see he was caught? Someone sent me an article, and then I went researching. CNN posted an article 2 minutes with me starting this live. So it is caught. And then I messaged Ruth Trotter, and she told me yes, that it was true. She's very excited, as I can imagine her being excited. So it is true, he was captured. Hey, Jesse. Jesse is picking on me because today I had to go and get tested for glasses. That's when I came home and went to sleep right after. So I got like a month before my glasses get here, but I'll be wearing glasses all the time now. Where was he caught? He was caught in Justin, Texas. Their mother should go to prison. I agree. I think the biggest prison you can have is inside of your chest. You know, you can physically get away with stuff, but the sad part about it, this is the worst prison, is when if you feel, if it haunts you forever, that you help or you strongly help end the life of your children. And unfortunately, I don't think that their biological mother would ever feel that. I think early on, if you watch the documentary, she clearly convinced herself that she did nothing wrong in the entire process. And I don't know if she was lying to herself at that time, but if you believe a lie long enough, it becomes real to you. So even if they were to, which they will not, find a reason to arrest their biological mother, it's not going to do anything because she won't have that in her heart. But who knows? Maybe that don't matter because Yaser know he did wrong, but he believes in that honor killing um, ideology so strongly. He probably don't care. But he's a man, and in prison, other men care about that stuff strongly. So I don't think he's about to have it as easy as he's had it for these last 12 years. Huh. You are definitely not a memory right now. Alyssa, Sarah, Amina, yeah, I hope they feel all the love we are too feeling today. Yes. He was mad because they were dating American guys and he wanted them to marry old men from his country. That is exactly it. And a lot of people forget about that with Sarah too. Sarah had a boyfriend as well. So that's why he did it to both his daughters. Do you think he'll confess to anything? I don't know. You know what's crazy is this is weird. Like there's gonna be a trial. Really, they caught him. Yes, Christina, they really caught him. I the filmmakers, whatever happened between me and you guys, I hope you are on this to spread this story so that people actually care. He shouldn't ride under the radar and go to some small little court. Um, I hope they put braces on him in prison and do the same he did to his baby girl. Exactly. Exactly. I don't even. If you look up his story, you'll see he did some horrible physical stuff. So yeah, I hope the same. I would lose no ounce of sleep if they did that to him. So when when Sarah and Amina feared for their life, Amina was on a computer and she was looking up the loss of a life from a girl whose father took her life in an honor killing. And she was deathly afraid that this was about to happen to her. So, Dish with Lish. Hey, Lish. This is a very bad day. I've had two devastating deaths in 1 week, and my family just want to say hi and show you love. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Lish. You know you can text me whenever you need. I've been hearing a lot of bad news today from friends and family member of my friends and People, I send my condolences. But I'm here for you. If if you got my phone number, I'm here for you. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting for this day. Yes, it really woke me up off. It literally woke me up off the couch. But that, as much as we wanted him captured, that's not why I was posting Sarah's photos on my lives. Um, I probably have to make another video and then ask you guys help for something because I'm waiting to hear. Should I say anything now? That's all. Thank you all. I know you're here, John. Anytime. How stupid do you have to be? I didn't. The only reason I didn't think he would be captured is because I didn't think he'd be captured because he wanted those girls to go back to Egypt, and he was taking Sarah and Amina to go to Egypt so they can be looked at and finding he can choose an Egyptian or a Muslim husband for them, and they didn't like that. They were American girls. They were born in America. They didn't live by those customs, and they were deathly afraid of that. And he had strong family over there. I would assume after he did this, he was gonna fly away and leave. But I remember Ruth telling me, she told me he loves America way too much to just leave, and I just didn't believe her. I don't care how much he loves America. He got to know how much trouble he's in. That guy left the country, and he'll never ever come back. And I don't remember when, but I don't know if it was in 2020 or like the end part of 2019. But I remember her telling me like she thinks she knows where he is, and he's in Texas. First we thought he was in New York. He's in actual Texas, and she was right. He was in Texas. Thank you, Samantha Alexandra. Yeah, I thought he was gone. Yeah. Just saw his mugshot, so they put up the mugshot already. Um, Let me type Yaser Saeed. Is this can't be? This not it. This not it with that. Let me see images. Not that blue background. I think that's old. Let me see past 24 hours images. I don't see a mugshot yet. I see more articles are pouring in. I'm looking on Twitter. This is a good day for law enforcement, and the FBI top 10 fugitive is arrested. Let me type his name on Twitter. There's a press conference. I'm gonna see if I can get it to play. He was arrested at 7:45 p.m.
Builder Surplus has the cabinets you need in stock.
Their commercial is just as 80s as you guys are imagining.
Since the start, NBC5 has tracked COVID-19's impact across North Texas.
That's live. They haven't said anything about the details of capturing him. Photograph taken in 2006. So the photograph with him in the blue background was taken in 2006. I'm trying to see, could I find a replaying of the press conference? I think I found it. It's not long. It's like 16 minutes long.
January 1st of 2008, Irving police dispatchers received a 911 call from a female at an unknown location who was in obvious distress. After approximately 1 hour of trying to locate this 911 caller, we received an additional 911 call reporting two females bleeding inside a taxi cab in the 200 block of East Las Colinas Boulevard. This was the beginning of the murder investigation of Amina and Sarah Saeed. Our investigation quickly led for us to suspect that their father, Yaser Abdel Saeed, was the person responsible for their brutal murder. For the past 12 years, we have tirelessly followed every lead, never losing faith or hope that we would one day locate and arrest Yaser Saeed. Through retirements, promotions, transfers, dead ends, starts and stops, the Irving Police Department never gave up. Tonight, I stand before you to announce all of that hard work paid off. Our partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Dallas Field Office, provided us a level of support that would be unmatched across the country. They were the key to us being able to arrest Yaser Saeed for the murder of his two daughters. I want to express my appreciation to Special Agent in Charge Matt DeSarno and his team. This is a good day for law enforcement. This is one of the days that make this difficult job really pay off. Matt?
Thanks, Jeff. Good evening. My name is Matt DeSarno. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of FBI Dallas. Just a couple hours ago, the FBI SWAT team arrested Yaser Abdul Saeed in Justin, Texas without incident. This arrest, as Chief Spivey has said, is a great day for law enforcement. The Dallas Violent Crime Task Force and the Irving Police have tirelessly, aggressively, and without pause followed every lead across the globe looking for this top 10 most wanted fugitive. I can't overstate how proud I am of the work of the investigators. This case was solved by good old-fashioned, aggressive, initiative-based police work. We had an agent who was originally on this case postpone their retirement for multiple years in an effort to find Saeed. For her and many others, today is a good day. But most importantly, what drove those investigators from the Irving Police Department, from the FBI task force that includes other local police departments, to continue to look under every rock and chase every lead, was to get justice for Amina and Sarah. Along with this operation, we've arrested two relatives of Saeed. They're going to be charged with harboring in the Northern District of Texas.
Probably one of his brothers.
Still seeking information from the public of others who may have provided aid and comfort to Saeed over the last
Lock them all up.
We had a $100,000 reward on Saeed. He was on the top 10 list since December of 2014. So we do expect that there are others who provided aid and comfort to this fugitive for a long period of time. So that's our ask to the public. But again, I want to leave you with this. I am immensely proud of the work of the Violent Crimes Task Force and the Irving Police Department. This is not uncommon. My folks and Jeff's folks work very hard every day to get justice for victims and protect the public. And today we did just that. So I think we'll take a couple questions.
I got one. You say he was found in Justin, Texas. That's not too far from here, I don't believe, is it?
It is not far from here, correct?
Where has he been? Has he been in the DFW area all this time?
So part of the ongoing investigation is to try to determine that. We have chased leads throughout the country. We've worked with other local departments following leads, and we have followed leads internationally to include in Egypt. So we have had information throughout this investigation that he's been in multiple places. We don't know right now how long he was in Justin, but we do know that he's not there anymore.
Was there any other cities in the DFW area that you think he was in and he left and he got
We're continuing to try to get to the bottom of that, but our most significant priority now though is the prosecution for capital murder of his daughters. And in that process, obviously, it's of significant interest to us as to where he was at what times, because that could help us also look for other folks who may be able to be charged with harboring this fugitive.
You've constantly gotten tips about this case. What was it that led you to Justin and the capture in the end?
So thanks for that question. So the FBI's top 10 most wanted list just celebrated its 70th birthday in March. The whole purpose behind that is to drive public awareness, to bring tips from the public. About half of the people captured on that list, or maybe a third of the people we've captured over the 70 years on that list, have been a direct result of public assistance. In this instance, we did not receive a tip to that location, but we are still seeking the assistance of the public. What led us there was good old-fashioned aggressive police work, re-looking at every possible angle of the case and working it day and night until we found it.
You said he was found in Justin and that two relatives were also. Is that the home of those relatives, or are they connected to some previous location?
We arrested the relatives at a separate location in Euless, Texas tonight.
Can you talk about that network?
What was the name of the city? What, Texas?
Able to keep his location a secret over the past 12 years. That network is
Yeah, but that is specifically part of our ongoing investigation. We're certainly interested in that, and we're interested in that because we'd like to hold more people accountable for that. But right now, I'm not prepared to speak about that.
Have you ever established
So which Saeed lived in Euless, Texas? I wonder which one of his brothers.
showing that maybe his daughters have, in his eyes, you can see Americanized? Can you talk a little bit more about this that he is promoted that he
So Euless, Texas is 12 minutes from Irving.
And killing in this instance, this man brutally murdered, shot to death his two daughters in his taxi cab. What led him to do that, I think at this point to us is irrelevant. The fact that he murdered his two daughters, the fact that he's been on the run for 12 years, and the fact that tonight his flight from justice ended and justice for Amina and Sarah began. That's what's most important to us.
Is he gonna be in federal custody, or is he gonna be in custody of the sheriff's department now that he's arrested, and will he face a bond?
The bond.
So I won't address the bond. Right now, he is in federal custody. We had opened an unlawful flight to avoid prosecution case on him, charged him with unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. So he will be arraigned on those charges, then moved to face the Irving-based state charges. So the relatives that we arrested today, and more will come out in the days ahead via complaint that you could pull. It's Islam Saeed, his son, and Yasim Saeed, his brother.
Oh, his son got arrested. His son and his brother.
Islam Common Saeed, S-A-I-D. Yasim, Y-A-S-S-I-M, I believe, Saeed.
Where are those two individuals being held?
Those two individuals are in our custody right now. They're going to be charged in Northern District of Texas.
So what was his demeanor when you guys, took him into custody? Was he relieved? Was he?
He was arrested without incident. On the scene, he didn't speak on the scene, didn't really have anything to say, and he was compliant and quiet.
Can you say how you found out? Can you reveal how you had tips that he was in Justin? I mean, how did you lead? What led you to believe he was in Justin?
So I'm not going to go to the details of the investigation. I'll characterize it as it did not come from an outside tip. It was rigorous investigative work on the part of my investigators and Jeff's detectives.
Was that an area you guys maybe had your eyes on for quite some time and just weren't able to, narrow down exactly where he was at? Or I guess, when did you?
No, this investigation over the last 12 years, we've followed leads throughout the country, throughout this area, and across the globe.
You said you suspect that there's more people involved. Do you have any leads that
No.
who might be harboring?
No, right now, that's what we're looking for the public's additional assistance on. If they have any information about his whereabouts and who may have also been harboring him or providing aid and comfort to him over the last 12 years, we're certainly interested in getting that at the FBI.
Did you hear from any other family members, once they found out he was arrested, any other family members who appreciated the work? Have you heard from anybody else, or just a family that you got together?
We just arrested him 2 hours ago, and they came here, so I haven't heard from anybody else.
Do you have the ages of his son?
No, I don't know their age. It's a son and a brother. It's his brother and his son, but I'm not sure their age.
Did he physically still look the same, or was he obviously trying to hide his identity?
For the agents familiar with the case who have been working on the case, it was an easy positive ID by facial recognition with their own eyes. Clearly looked like yes.
Some family friends have believed this whole time that, hey, he was always gonna stay in DFW. He had this network of family members and friends that were keeping him. They're gonna ask, I guess if you
Lock them all up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, and I think what's important from my perspective is that, we don't know right now if he was always here. We have reason to believe that some of the information that we have chased in the past, both locally and elsewhere, was viable and we missed him. But the reality is there was a $100,000 reward for information leading to his capture, and that did not lead to his capture. So if he's been in this area and for that long, then obviously nobody gave him up, right? But we have been working.
This is almost over. It's 2 more minutes.
Proactive.
16 minutes long, and it's at 14:10.
Doing everything we can do, and today we found him, so we're happy about that.
I know it wasn't a tip that led to the arrest, but you guys have stayed after it. People have kept bringing in tips. I know, I'm sure everybody here has kept covering it. How much did keeping in the limelight help at all during this investigation?
I think it helped a great deal. I mean, the tips that we did get that did not result in his capture, certainly some of them, progressed the investigation, helped us with some insight into some of the things that you asked about with regards to his possible whereabouts and some of the things about potential networks. So the tips are always welcome. We do get a lot of really good tips, and in this instance, again, we're looking for help with finding others who may have provided aid and comfort.
Do you know if he changed his name and got a different job?
All that will be continuing part of our fugitive investigation. We have chased leads that include lots of different, information. So we're going to be trying to work through that and identify where he's been and who's been helping him.
You guys be releasing a mugshot anytime soon, and where will we be able to find it?
There will likely be a mugshot tomorrow. There's a press release a couple press releases that have gone out this evening, and then the other information, the federal court information, should be on paper tomorrow.
Mugshot should be available tomorrow.
Okay, in closing, I'd just like to say again, I'm really proud of the effort of my folks, and I know Jeff is too. The intense partnership that we've experienced through this case in the last 12 years has led us to many other law enforcement successes as a partnership between Irving and the FBI, and we continue this to be another. We consider this to be another really good day for us, and we're happy that we're able to bring some measure of justice to Amina and Sarah in this case. So thanks.
All right, I'm coming back to you guys. If you're still here, I'm sorry I left YouTube. So what I just learned was shocking. What was not shocking was his brother that helped was Yasin Saeed. Um, I don't know which brother. I have to go back and look at the documentary to see which specific brother that was. I don't know if that was the brother whose house they went to after the girls lost their life and the documentary crew was pushed away from their home, and where his wife actually went to live with his brother, which I'm sure she kept in contact with her husband, Yaser. So I'm not sure. But the biggest surprise was that they arrested Sarah and Amina's brother. I'm not going to say that that's a big surprise. I don't know if I'm using the right words. That does not surprise me. I guess it's just sad. It's really sad, but it's not surprising because, one of the stories I thought I was going to do, before I had a YouTube channel, when I was just into true crime, there were stories that stuck with me. One of the stories, of course, was Sarah and Amina's story. But there was another story that stuck to me because I didn't watch it on television. I didn't see a documentary. It was a book called Father and Son. And what I liked about this book and this horrific story was in the way that it was told. It was told in a way to let you see victims. The first third chunk of the book was told in a way that you feel sorry for this little boy because this little boy is watching his uncle torture and do horrific things, RAPE, to his mother. This little boy is watching his mother be hogtied and viciously murdered. This third of this book, this little boy, you feel so sorry for. You want to take the little boy. You want to hug the little boy. You want to adopt the little boy. You just want to show the little boy these horrors that you're seeing in the world isn't how the world want to be. And you're reading this book, and that little boy is clearly the victim. And after he sees his uncle viciously kill his mother as she hog-tied and chokes herself, he puts it in a way where she kills herself. It cuts to this little boy being an adult, married man, and his wife has a son. So he takes his baby son, and the baby son sleeps in the room with him as he does horrific things to this little baby boy. His baby boy, from the time before he's even 1 year old, is living a life of being molested by his horrific father. And you clearly feel sorry for this little boy and his skewed view of the world where he thinks that you're supposed to sleep with your father, as the father's wife allows her son to go through this. She allows her husband to do this to this little boy. And then this little boy grows up and he becomes a teenager in high school, and he sees this little girl playing on the playground. And his father wants that little girl, so his father sends the little boy down, and the little boy brings the girl up. And they do horrific things with this little girl. And then the 17-year-old, I think 16-year-old little boy, after they kill this girl and does horrible things with a broom, they take this little girl's lifeless body, and the 17-year-old kid tosses her off of a cliff as somebody watches him toss her off of a cliff. And they all get caught for the murder of this little girl. You could have told this book in a billion different ways, and instantly you just hate their guts. But when you see the generation until it gets down to what this 17-year-old boy's viewpoint of the world was after going through a horrific life of a father that told him this was normal. Before I even looked up any information or anything on the book, it's just me and my own personal thoughts with this book. And is this 17-year-old boy a monster? And I came to the conclusion that yes, he is in fact a monster. He did not have to be a monster. It sucks of how he became a monster. It is very unfortunate of how he became a monster. But my own conclusion is that he is in fact a monster for what he did to that little girl. So I take that information to Sarah and Amina's brother, who, I don't want to say in that religion, but a lot of times in that ideology, the son has favoritism over the daughters, and the father cares more about his relationship with his son. And as Yaser took his son Islam under his wing, to the point that when you see the disturbing video footage of how Yaser was looking at Sarah and Amina as if they were some sexual object, his own daughters, his son was in the room helping him. His son was snatching the covers off of his sisters so his father can look at their bodies. The son, Islam, who said horrible things about his sisters after their death, who flew back to Egypt. It's not surprising. It's not surprising to me at all that he helped hide his father. It's not surprising to me at all that he feels the way he does. But just like that other kid was a monster in that story, Islam is a monster. I don't feel any sorry for Islam. He's going to go to prison. Probably won't stay there for long, but now he has a criminal record. I think he was mixed. Who was mixed? The story I'm talking about. The only reason I didn't do that other story is because it is very brutal. I mean, I'm reading a book with no pictures, and it's still disgusting. It's a very brutal book. So I know I know I hadn't read it in years. So I'm like, if I do that story, I'm gonna have to read that book again. I didn't want to read the book. I think at the time I went live and talked about it, and my friend Clarissa, she ended up buying the book and she read it again, and she was just disgusted at what she read. I thought maybe it was a little bit too much. Amina's boyfriend. Yeah, I say Amina's boyfriend, but I try not to say anything else because they value his anonymity. Ruth put herself out here because she wants to help capture Saeed and do something else. But as you notice, her son has not kept himself out. His son has purposely kept himself out of the limelight, out of anything. After the documentary, you haven't heard from him. You haven't seen a picture. So if that's her wishes, you got to think now. I want you guys to think this is her only child. This is her baby. This is her son, who went through a lot of depression and stuff, and to lose the one true Romeo and Juliet love of his life. So she wants him protected. I'm not gonna mention anything about him at all. So if you purposely see me not mentioning or saying anything, it is on purpose. It takes a lot of nerve to read a book about abuse to get your substance. Send a virtual hug. Thank you, Judith. Big hug back to you, too. I've actually seen this vicious cycle while serving in Iraq. The story I told you about was not Iraqis or Muslims. This was Mexicans, the father and son, and matter of fact, Hispanic, because I don't know which country they came from, but they lived in California. And I don't want to stereotype, say like they look Mexican or whatever, but I'll try to look it up. Yeah, here's the link to the book. If you guys want to read it, make sure it is very graphic of every generation of what happened to the father when the father was a little kid, what happened to his when he became an adult, and what happened to his son, and then what happened when both of them, what they did to that little girl. So it is very, very graphic. Thomas Soraya, I can't. I think it's Soraya, and his son which was a junior, which was TJ. Here's a picture of both of them on the front of the book. Again, if you guys wanted to read this, but at that time I was reading a lot of like murder books. I think one of the other ones I was reading is when all of this staff at this ice cream shop was murdered and no one could find out the killers, and somebody was some guys was arrested for this murder, only to find out years later that they didn't do it. I remember that book as well. It was a big book I was reading at the time. So I was just picking out books as I was just I was reading murders that happened. But this one stuck to me because just in the style of how they wrote it through different generations to show what can happen to you, or how is important, like not only nature but nurture to what you can do to a child, and we get to see the full life scope of what makes someone a monster. I'm stronger now. For every day he helped that monster elude capture and kept justice for happening is as long as he should get behind bars, in my opinion, 12 years. Yeah, you're right, honey boo boo. I think they're probably going to give him 10 years. Normally something like this, you get 10 years. But what I do like the FBI. You know, a lot of people get mad when FBI hold press conferences and they don't say too much. When I know the reason that they're not saying too much is because it is ongoing. Okay, it's not over. We didn't just try to catch Yaser to make everybody shut up and leave us alone. We passionately care, so we're going after everybody in detail. We even got Sarah and Amina's brother arrested. You know, that's good news to me. You don't have to tell me anything. Keep it to yourself. Use that information. Lock them all up. And I got a strong feeling that if Islam was arrested, then their biological mother will be arrested soon. I surely hope so. I surely hope so. Yeah, I don't. You can. I don't blame anybody who would pass on that link. I heard from Clarissa a month ago. She is chilling. She's a mom chilling with her husband and her kids. I did a research paper on the cycle of learned behavior with addiction, all types of abuse, criminal behavior, and poverty. It's a real thing. Yeah. Hey, that was supposed to be my second case. I was just Sarah and Amina, and I was going to do the Thomas and his son case. And I was like, nah, I don't want to put myself through reading that book. And what's crazy is there's no information on it. It's only that book. There's no documentaries you're not going to find. There's no big news story. There's nothing. And these cases, like, there's so many cases out there in the world where people are forgotten. And it's kind of sad in a way. You know, it's hard to get out of your head. It's really hard to get out of your head that this little girl kept crying and literally saying she did not want to die. She did not want her father, to take her life because she didn't want to be a memory. And you feel like you can just, if there was something I can do, there's one small thing I can do, and there's nothing you can do because you can't go back in the past. There's absolutely nothing. He did it. She's no longer here. So then your brain goes on, well, what can I do? What's that? What's that? I'm seeing, okay, I was seeing closed caption on my screen. Put Tissy in the clinker ASAP, yeah. So there's nothing that you can do in that situation. So what can you do? The FBI will be all over it. I bet she is worrying now. John, I'm so glad you went live with this. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Rebel Rose. The other case is kind of a hush-hush case. It's just every case doesn't become famous. Every case doesn't get as much coverage as a Scott Peterson. I don't know why. That book has all the ingredients of a case that you think would be big, and I guess it was big enough for one. But think about this right here. Think about this, right? We only know about Sarah and Amina because one documentary crew decided to cover it. They decided to make a documentary on it. If there was no documentary on this, if I go back, I remember articles from Texas. I remember an article about a cab pulled over, but it wasn't big. It wasn't major. It would have been just like the case I was telling you about. They would have swept this under the rug. Ruth and her son and everybody who cares would have been left on their own. What if Sarah Turney wasn't an amazing fighter? What if Sarah Turney wasn't relentless and unwilling to stop at no cost at all? Would Alyssa Turney's story be huge? Would all these YouTubers have kept the case alive? There's a lot of cases that happen. Like, what about the girl, Amina, was looking up on her computer where her father took her life in an honor killing because she had a boyfriend? We don't know her name. We don't know her story. It isn't all out there. A lot of this big stuff it takes somebody to show an extreme interest in a situation and spread that to others. It wasn't before she got involved, yeah. Thanks for telling us, John. I worried about her. A lot of times when people leave YouTube, they're having a much less stressful time. It is more stress doing this YouTube because it's something additional that you're adding to your life, and you're talking to thousands and thousands of strangers, and some of them are not good people or are not nice people or too pushy or want to know too much about your life. The more you open yourself to a larger number of people, in that larger number of people could be 99% great, but you can have, all it takes is one crazy person. So trust me, a lot of times when you see people who used to be a YouTuber and they're not, they're having a much less stressful time in their life. I nothing bad has happened to me when I am not making, I haven't made a YouTube video in a minute. I've been having fun, and it only takes me coming back before I mentally want to come back. And then when I come back, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come back. And then I start doing my research and looking at stuff. Then I start liking the process of coming back later. But the decision to come back is made before me liking to come back, because things are a lot more easier. There are a lot more smiles. There are a lot more photos and stuff on my phone. That's just not of me sitting in this chair. So, thank you, Kat. I'm glad you're here too. We all need a sister like Sarah, yeah. We all need yeah. Make sure you don't make Sarah Turney a memory either. Like if her father gets arrested, she done what she wanted to do, check up on her, still keep her in your mind and thoughts, so she can have the great life that she deserved after fighting so hard for her sister. This is the first case. I used to talk about this going live. Like, I, if you've been here with me long enough, you guys remember when I go live and I say stuff like, one day I'm going to cover so many cases that I'm going to be going live about the police arresting someone who has gotten away with a crime for so long. Glad the first one was Yaser Saeed. It couldn't have been more great. Could have been more perfect that way. I'm so glad the first one was the reason I decided to make this channel. People need to understand that investigating everything to put in the documentary takes a toll. Even viewing it takes a toll. Mental breaks are required. Yeah. What if you go and you travel and you go see these beautiful destinations like I just did when I was away, and you're just having a great time in your life. Then you get off a plane and then you fly back and you gotta go back to work to your normal life or whatever. And then after that, you voluntarily subject yourself to going back to researching something very horrific and very sad and very dark. What if you did that in a room alone at night? So it takes a lot to do this kind of stuff, you know? Sarah is not going to disappear. You know, it's crazy. Sarah is when right before I went live, I tweeted this. I retweeted Ruth Trotter's tweet about this, and then Sarah was the first person to mention. She was the first person to click like on what I posted. Did you ever mention covering Sarah? Yes, Desi. Desi hit me up and was like, yo, this is girl on TikTok. Her case is blowing up. I want you to meet her and talk to her. Desi wanted me to do the case. I'm like, oh, yo, Desi, introduce me. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. I'll do any case. And then I didn't know Sarah Turner was blowing up and doing this on TikTok. I didn't know. I heard she was on TikTok, but I didn't know that she was the big case. So Desi sent me a picture of Sarah Turner. I was like, do you even watch my channel, man? Where have you been, Desi? Finding an arrest has been made must be some spice for the soul. Yes, it is. I'll just say this right here. Those girls are in a place that they should not be. And we got one more thing that we can do. And may they rest in peace forever. But they should not be where they are right now. And we all can do something to help out with this. Between Michael Turney's arrest and now Yaser, this last week was a huge week for overdue justice. That's exactly how I felt, Honey Boo Boo. I miss you too, by the way, Honey Boo Boo. But that's exactly how I felt. Like, that's why I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm knocked out. And so now I just want to check and see what time it is. Please don't be 10 o'clock yet. Let me get a little bit more sleep. And then when I see that message from Emily Rose, and then I clicked the link, I clicked the link and I had to it's black dark in the room. I was like, wait. This ain't real. Instantly went to Ruth Trotter and instantly asked her. 'Cause I'm like, if this is real, she's gonna know and she's gonna shout it from the rooftop. Before Ruth could even answer, I clicked on her Twitter and she had already posted it. When she posted it, I knew it was real. What's up, Tiffany Marie? Y'all give a big hug emoji for my friend Tiffany Marie. But no, they should not. They need to be moved. Yes, they do need to be moved. Uh, I honestly thought that of the two, of capturing their father and them moving from their resting place, them moving from their resting place is going to be the hardest thing to do. It's going to be harder than them catching Yaser. But I think moving them to a different place is the end of Sarah and Amina's journey to where they actually can rest in peace. Ray Russo, do you mean Tiffany? The mom is saying she is so relieved. Post Ray Russo, post that link. I'll be. What's up, Juju? I'll be interested to see this. Tissy said she's so relieved that they caught him. Post post that link. I would love to see this. Also, too, like hurt my chest to say this. Ugh. Would you guys like for me to cover the father and son case? I mean, if you want me to, I'll do it. What's Tissy's real name? I'm looking for articles. I'm trying to see, because and they be 30 and 29 years old right now. Yeah, if they post the link, mods, approve the link. I would love to see it. If you need the articles, just the articles on their mom, what their real mom said. All the articles on Yaser is going to say the same thing. Thank you, Shay Lopez. It is great news. You've spoken on it a few times. Not sure if I can stomach it. It's, you know what? You know what though, Juju? A lot of cases are as horrific. It's just that maybe because they aren't in book format. In the book you say a lot of details, and the only other like time you get details like that is maybe from a discovery, but a discovery are more jotted down like notes in a certain way, to where it's not as graphic as a book. I just never thought he'd still be in Texas. I thought he found a way back overseas. She told me, she said the kind of mind he has, he would not want to leave Texas. She was right. What an idiot. This and what happened, what possibly could have happened, and I don't like speculation, but I'll speculate. He probably had a routine to where he leave the country, come back in the country, leave the country, come back in the country. But we suck now. Americans suck due to how horrifically we've handled the COVID situation. So maybe he came to America and he couldn't go back home because a lot of countries won't let Americans come into their country. That could be a possibility. harder to say hear something horrific out loud. I just saw too many video on him. I'm not ready for it, but I will watch it. His story should be told as only John can. Oh man, does America suck right now? Yeah, that's actually very plausible. Yeah, that could happen. That could have happened if he touched down in the U.S. in the past 3 months or whatever. And yeah. Um, they probably got him before he could leave. Americans were not permitted to enter the country of Egypt until August 15th. So like just recently, and but you had to have a negative COVID test for how long? 72 hours before entering. So maybe the fact that we could not enter the country of Egypt until August the 15th prevented him from being able to leave or set up plans to fly out of the country. Or maybe he's just an idiot who just refused to leave the country. I don't know. All right, I'm going to read Patricia Owens, aka Tissy, what she said 15 minutes ago. Yaser Abdel Saeed, a 63-year-old man suspected of killing his two teenage daughters in Irving more than a decade ago, has been captured, authorities announced Wednesday. Saeed had been on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list since 2014 in connection with the fatal shootings of 18-year-old Amina Saeed and 17-year-old Sarah Saeed on New Year's Day 2008. He was taken into custody Wednesday in Denton County, which we know now is Justin, Texas, which is 49 minutes away from Irving. He was only 49 minutes away. His brother was in, I can't pronounce it now, Euless or something like that, Texas, which is only like 15 minutes away from Irving. So all of this was all in close proximity. Two of C's relatives were also arrested in, here it is right here, Euless, accused of harboring him. Those relatives were his son, Islam Saeed, and remember, last time we heard of him, he had left the country as well too, his son, and his brother, Yasim Saeed. Special agent is charged with the FBI Dallas field office said Saeed was compliant and quiet when he was arrested in the city of Justin. He declined to give specific details about how Saeed was traced there, crediting good old-fashioned aggressive initiative-based police work. So all you people who try to get $100,000 and lack the soul, you will not be getting any money. Patricia Owens, mother of the victims and Saeed's former wife, was relieved at the news. All I can say is there's going to be justice, Owens told the Dallas Morning News on Wednesday night. Owens said the last 12 years have been a nightmare for her family, based upon her actions to convince her daughters to come home so her husband can shoot them. She had no idea where Saeed was, and despite public speculation about a motive, she doesn't know why the sisters were killed. Patricia said, "My daughters were loving, caring, smart, loved everyone, loved everybody, would help anybody. She said they were two of the most awesome kids in the world and they did not deserve what happened to them." I agree with her. I just think the only difference between me and Tissy is I genuinely believe that. Fountain Father's Taxi. Sarah called 911 around 7:30 p.m. the night she was killed. I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying. We all have heard the call. I don't even know if I want to read any more of this article. Is there anything else? Their brother, Islam Saeed, then was 19 years old. He disputed the notion. It's something else. Religion has nothing to do with it. A month later, Islam Saeed, who now stands accused of sheltering a fugitive, asked that anyone who saw his father turn him in. "I don't want to have nothing to do with him," he said. So Saeed get caught, and everybody want to act like there isn't documented conversations and things that you have said that the public has not already seen. We've seen him say bad things about his sisters. We've seen him say that they deserve to have their life ended. Okay, so this article just goes into old stuff. So if you're not familiar with the case, I'll just give you guys the article right here on the side. There you go. Read which last sentence again? No, she did not protect him. But he was with him. Exactly. I'm like, so good old fashioned common sense and police work. You don't have to know anything about an honor killing. You don't have to research an honor killing. A father found out his daughter had a boyfriend, and he became so upset. He took his whole family and moved them to a different city. After kicking her mouth in so much that her lips cut deep into her braces. They ran away. He lost control. The split second, he begged for them to come back, and they were not going to come back. He got his wife to help him, coaxed him in. Sarah goes home. He does nothing to Sarah. Because if he does something to Sarah, Amina gets to live, and he wants them both gone. So the mom continues to contact Amina, and finally, Amina agrees to come in. She doesn't spend one night there. It doesn't last. She comes home, he takes them for a ride, and they lose their life. You don't have to know anything about honor killing to see the clear motive of why he ended his daughter's life. Dorothy, I feel really, really bad that you say that. You know you're my girl, Dorothy Blake. You came in really, really late. Ray Russo said, "I wonder if the mom ever considered that this could happen. Go back and watch their documentary." All right, guys. It is now 10 p.m., so I'm going to have to leave. This is the time I was going to wake up and do my work. So I do have work I have to do. But this is a great day. This is great news. So I wish nothing for Tissy. So I apologize if congratulations is the wrong word. I won't even say congratulations. Just, I'm really happy for Sarah turning, and I'm really happy for Ruth Trotter and her son that these horrific people can now begin the process of paying for the senseless thing that they have done to their loved one. And to everyone else, I will see you all next time. I am back, so I am making videos, and yeah, I'm still going to do the Alyssa Attorney video as well too. She basically lured them. Yes, she did lure them. She did. And Dorothy, I'm going to send you a message before I go live next time. So, and just to make sure you know I'm going live, so you can be here and catch the next one. All right, that's it. Y'all know my slogan. Type it on the side, and I'll see you all next time.